Okay, now we need to be talking about percents. And we're going to start off by kind of looking at what a percent is and how it's related to other things that we've already studied. But we already have a very good idea of what percents are just from our day-to-day, lives. They talk about, a certain percent chance of rain that day, or whenever they talk about the news in the morning, we walk into a store and see that there's a 50% off sale. And we see these things all the time, and we can sort of understand what's going on. I mean, for instance, when we do go into a store and we see a sign that says 50% off, we understand that means that it will be half off. We'll only have to pay half as much as the list price. But we need to look at more of a formal definition, and we need to practice with this so that we can work with other percents, not just 50%. Okay, the formal definition for a percent is it means per 100. That's exactly what it means, per 100. And it's denoted as this little symbol here. So we've seen that over and over again. Now, whenever if we're talking about something being per 100, then what that means is basically if we say that something is 50%, it means the same as saying 50 per 100. So for every 100 items, we're going to have 50 of them, which is another reason why 50% is half, because 50 is half of 100. In a percent, 100% or 100 is always the total, the most that there can be, or all of the items, I guess I should say. Maybe we should put it like that. If we say 25%, then that's the same thing as saying 25 for every 100. So it's like saying a quarter or a fourth of the whole. Okay, let's go back then to that idea of 50%, okay, or that 50% off thing. If we're going to say that these shirts that we're looking at are regularly $20, and we know that we're going to get 50% off, how much are we going to have to pay for those shirts? Well, we know that that's going to be $10, right? Because 50% is half of the original price. Okay, well, earlier in a previous section, we turned fractions into decimals. So let's say that we're working with 1/2. How would we turn that into a decimal? Well, we would go ahead and we would do the division. That says 1 divided by 2. And naturally, the decimal falls at the end of the whole number 1, so we would have to line up our decimal. 2 won't go into 1, so we'd have to add a 0. 2 will go into 10 5 times. 5 times 2 is 10, so that goes in evenly now. So if I say 1/2 or I say 0.5, those are the exact same thing, remember? All right, now look at the number 0.5 and 50%. We know that those are the same thing. 5/10 is half. 50% is half. So these are the same thing. Can we figure out if there's some way that we can go from 0.5 to 50? Well, how about if I move the decimal over 2 places and add a 0? Now that is a 50, true? This is exactly what we do when we change from a decimal to a percent. You're actually multiplying by 100 in order to go from decimal to percent. Now, we're going to practice in the next video with what we've just figured out.